Hello everyone and welcome to today's demo. Today we will be demoing how to do overdubbing in Audacity using the ID Labs podcasting kit, or if you are actually here in the ID Lab, using some of the equipment in the Media Lab. So for this project you will actually need an external microphone hooked up, and you will need an audio box. So again, we have the one that comes in the podcasting kit, which is a little smaller than this one. This is a slightly larger version, but essentially doing the same thing. And the important part here is that the microphone is plugged into the audio interface, your headphones are plugged into the audio interface, and the audio interface is plugged into your computer. And the important part there is that we are going to be kind of replicating a recording studio, in that if you want to record yourself singing over, say, a track of music, or you want to record yourself speaking over background music or background sound, or you want to record yourself speaking over an interview of pre-recorded questions that someone else put together, you need to have those sources of audio be separate so that when the music that you're going to be singing over is playing and then you're singing into it, the mic isn't also picking up that music a second time. So if we were just playing the music out of the computer speakers, it would be going back into the mic and we generate a feedback loop. But by separating it and having the music get sent from your computer to the audio box and through the headphones, you can both be listening to the music and at the same time you're hearing yourself through the mic as well, and you're doing a true studio-like overdub recording. So this is the setup, and let's get started. First things first, if you want to be able to hear yourself through your headphones while you are speaking into the microphone, you will have to download Universal Control, which is a free software from PreSonus. This is the company that makes the audio box that's in the Idea Lab, as well as the audio box that is in the podcasting kit. And this software just makes the transformation of your audio box as far as just a simple interface that sound is being sent to and from, to actually, if you open Universal Control and say show all devices, turns that audio box into an actual sound mixer with all the different line inputs that you have. So it is required to kind of have that extra level of functionality, and in this case we want it so that I can hear myself through the headphones while I'm talking. If I did not have Universal Control installed on the computer, I'd be talking into the microphone but not actually hearing myself through the headphones. I would only hear myself when I play back recording. But I want to be able to monitor how I sound live, so this is step number one, is downloading Universal Control. A second thing to know is that Audacity, which is the free recording program that we are going to be using, has tutorials for all kinds of things for using their software, different projects. So the project we are doing today is essentially just multi-track overdubbing. So they have their whole own wiki site with all these manuals and descriptions. It's a great place to go to if you have questions, if you're looking for projects to do. So we are just kind of going to be following along with multi-track overdubbing, which is why I had it up, and a few other things up that I was looking at. But to get right to it, we'll go ahead and we can close Universal Control, and we can open up Audacity, and we have our mic set up. Since we have our audio box enabled, it's going to show all the different inputs, so you're going to choose the one that's right for you. In this case, I just have a microphone plugged into line 1. If it's you and a friend, you probably have your microphones plugged into line 1 and 2, so that's the one you're going to select. You can say whether you want to record stereo or mono. I'll leave it on stereo. And then what is the out when you play back a recording from Audacity? Where will it play through? And again, we don't want to play through our computer speakers. I have my headphones plugged into the main out on the back of the audio box, so I'll select main out. So there's that. And again, when you first get started in Audacity, you can click here to monitor to see if your microphone is being picked up, and it looks like it is. And then we can also just do the quick test and see if things are being recorded. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can hit stop and then we can play it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. So it's recording. We can hear it. All is good. Before we go and do our overdubbing, we want to change some preferences in Audacity. So you'll go to Edit, Preferences, and this is where you can adjust settings for all kinds of different things. But the main one we're focused on here is in recording. And we want to have this box checked, play other tracks while recording. Overdub, we want to hear the other tracks while we are recording a new one. We want to leave this one unchecked, software playthrough of input. We do not want that. And then this box is usually by default not checked. It's record on a new track. So if I hit leaving it unchecked and hit OK now, and say I've got the cursors right at the beginning of the track, and I hit record again, recording a new track. You see it kind of tacked it on to the end of this first one rather than recording on the line below. So let me just delete this, and if we go back to edit, preferences, recording, record on a new track, and we hit OK, and we send our cursor all the way back to the beginning, and now we hit record. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now it recorded onto a new track. And this is exactly what we want, because we're going to want the music or the other person talking or whatever it is on the top and us to be layering it on the bottom. And now if we play it back, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I was a little off tempo there, so hopefully no music teachers are listening about this delayed count. But I'll go ahead and delete this one. And now that we've done that, let's actually try recording over some music. So I'm going to go to File and Import Audio. And this is where if you had a backing track that you found, or a piece of music that you made yourself, or whatever it is that you're going to be recording yourself over, we are going to take that and load it in. So I made a short sequence using Citizen DJ, which is a free tool that I'll link to in the description below. And I'll just open that sequence. And I'm also going to go ahead and copy the sequence and copy it at the end so that we've got, and I'll just click this to fit the screen, so that I've got like a bar, a count in bar, and then a couple bars to rap over. So let's just play the music so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, so that's what we've got, and now we've got 3 bars of it. So just like we recorded our voice over top of our voice, we've got this track, and we can now record whatever we want over top of it. Yeah. Good morning. So this sounds pretty loud. It was kind of hard for me to hear myself while I was listening to this music, so I can go ahead and turn down the gain on that a lot. And then I could play it back. Yeah. Good morning. All right, so now we've got, and that's a little easier to hear myself. So now I've got my music on top, and I've got me on the bottom. And as you can imagine, you could let this keep playing, and you could rap, do whatever you want. If the take wasn't good, you could delete it and redo it. If only part of it you messed up on, say, you could just delete that part and keep the part that was good. But we've got one layer now, and you can go ahead and kind of just keep adding as many layers as you want. So if I hit record again, remember we said record on a new track. So if I hit record again, here, let me stop because I had left my cursor there, so it started recording from that point on as opposed to from the beginning. So let me go back to the beginning, and now if I hit record, yeah, no. So now I can add, a little call and response again with myself or with somebody else. Point being, I could, if I hit recording again because the cursor isn't anywhere, here we go, yeah, no. And now I've got all these layers, and I can just keep adding on. Here we go, yeah, no. So again, not does that even count as rapping? No, it does not. But the point is, we have now demonstrated that you can have your music, you can record on top of it, you can keep recording on top of it, and you can do as many layers, as many takes as you want. So that is how you bring in a piece of music that you found online, or a piece of music you've made yourself, and how you rap and record over top of it, and can then really have your own piece of music. So I hope the tutorial was helpful. Best of luck, and we're excited to see what you make.